From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm going to be one of the hosts for this episode. My name is Bill. We've got a full house. Who else is hosting?
Vicki.
And the weird Jeremy guy that might be on or maybe not. He might not be here. I don't know.
It's Santa Jeremy.
Sometimes he's here.
And Audra.
You are. At least one of you is confident in who you are. Vicky's like, I don't know. Is this a question? Anyway.
I did that because of your episode where you pretended to be me.
Oh, that's her. I can pretend to be you again this whole time. That's fine. You can be Jeremy and I'll be fake Jeremy. How about that?
Perfect.
That'll work.
Returning
guest.
Episode is Bill Vila. That'd be fine.
I could be Bill Vila.
Wow.
I don't know if we should announce this, but this old car has been picked up for a second season.
Nice.
Oh,
I am
okay.
super happy about that.
That's right.
I don't know that our guest today knows anything about that.
It's probably why she came on, because if she knew about it, she'd be like, no, I'm not coming on that podcast. Nope.
Tell me about this old car.
All right, well, I got to say who you are first. Hold on. Strap in there, missy. Let's see. She drives several 944s because, one 944 never works. So you got to have backup plans. It's fine. And Spec E30, I believe she has her race license now. She autocrosses for many a moon with our friend Miss Audra and others. HPDE professional. I don't know if she's won her national championship like Vicki and I, but that's okay. And endurance racer extraordinaire. She was part of the first ladies team with the other ladies on this podcast, not counting Jeremy. And Jeremy wasn't on the team. He just helped. And
They didn't let me drive.
No, we don't let you drive. But you did get the car eventually, so it was the same car, so it's fine. And I believe if given the choice, she would drive just about anything, anywhere, anytime. So
Yes.
Welcome back to the podcast, Miss Elizabeth Jolly.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me back.
I know. I think
It's
this
always
is
fun.
3.5 times now.
Yeah, maybe. But now I have my competition license.
That's right.
Mhm.
The big boy club or
I
big
know.
girl club.
Big girl club.
So did I miss anything on the intro? Because intro is not our strongest point.
No, that's good. I've talked about everything I've done prior. So we're going to talk about me getting my license.
That's true. We are.
She's so happy.
All right.
I know.
All right. So she's going to guide this whole podcast. I like it.
That's true. I mean, she
Yeah.
has notes. I know this. There's no way she didn't come on here with like a page full of notes. So it's fine.
Oh yeah. Well, my whole season last year was my novice permit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just awesome. The Spec E30 group is fantastic. I'm racing with SCCA. So Spec E30 is typically with NASA, and the SCCA New England region has added Spec E30 as a group. And two guys, I think it was Tom Samuelson and Larry Marks, petitioned the SCCA and New England region and asked them to allow us to race. And they started out, I think they had 4 or 5 guys. Last year, I think we had 10 at the most. And now this year, we're hoping for like 14 or 15. So definitely growing the group.
I don't know. Do we know anybody in the area who's got a Spec E30 that maybe could add to the group? There's got to be somebody up there. Somebody up there.
We have, Audra's joining.
Audra. Oh, that. How silly of me.
I was at a club racing experience with SCCA. It's called CRE, and it's an advanced HPD is really what it is, but it happens during the race, during a race weekend. And it's a specific group, but you do have to have a race car. So your car has to pass tech as if it's a race car. And they just teach you, you have as many sessions as you would if you were racing. So like qualifying and then race. And then the second day is 2 races. So I was there at a CRE at Palmer, and one of the guys said, do you know somebody who, we're really trying to grow this group and we have a car for sale? And I said, well, I'll ask my girlfriend, Audra. And as soon as I called her, she said, I'll buy it. I want it. I want it. So I said, well, good, because you're going to race with me. And she bought the E30.
Nice.
I remember exactly like that. I was like, well, yeah, I guess I could buy it.
Yeah,
No, you
that sounds
said,
more
I
like
want
Audra.
it.
Yeah,
No,
that sounds
no,
more like
no.
Audra.
I was surprised that you didn't say that. You said, I want it. Yes, I want it. And one of the guys drove down and they picked it up in New Jersey.
So I got a question about the E30s. Are they hard to find parts for? Or are the parts becoming more of a problem? Because we find things to become difficult, either with the Miatas was starting to become a little difficult, and with even with my Honda, is difficult to start finding parts for. What about for the E30?
I'm not finding the difficulty in finding parts. I think it's engines aren't as cheap as they used to be. It seems like the cost of an E30 is going up, not racing, but in general, the vintage cars are having a good moment right now, because even the 944s aren't as cheap as they used to. Every 944 we think most we paid for is $2,000 for one of them. And you can't find one for $2,000, or one of them we bought for $700. So like engines, I think, and I'm looking for an engine just to have so I could start to rehab it and make it another race engine. And I can't find it. But parts in general, no, FCP Euro stocks everything. I'm not having a hard time finding parts. Oh. Same with the 944. You have a hard time with parts, like the intricate little interior things. There's a big eBay has a lot of used parts, but with the 944s, I mean, we bought a car just to tear it apart so we'd have parts. I now, for some reason, we became 944 hoarders. We have 3 engines. I don't know when that happened, but we have 3 extra engines in 4 cars.
Don't get rid of the engines.
That is a good problem to have.
We have a trunk lid with a windshield wiper if you need it. The big old glass thing.
I used to race a 944 with a 300 wheel horsepower Volkswagen Audi motor in it.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Volkswagen.
I'd like to put a different engine in my race car, but I think we're just going to sell it. She's just sitting there. But because I love the E30. I fit it as soon as I sat. I mean, I bought the E30. The guy from Georgia drove it up. He was coincidentally seeing his parents in Pennsylvania. So he's like, yeah, I'll drive it up to you. So he drove it to me, dropped it. As soon as I got in, and I was like, I love this car. I just love it. It's like my brick. I love it.
Oh.
Let's, what are we talking about? If you do something else, it would be B-Spec anyway?
Yeah, if we did something else, it would be a Mini. I'd race a Mini in B-Spec.
So you should just get rid of those 944s. They're doing nothing for you.
Well, yeah, I know. The race car I'm selling, I have to sell that because I'm not gonna drive that again. But back to my racing. I got my novice permit. I went to the SCCA racing school at Thompson last year. And if you pass that, you get your novice license so you can race with restrictions. Of course, you have to do, I think, 3 races or 4 races without incident. And then you get your full competition license. So the school was great. There was about 30 people, 30 guys, and I was the only girl. But it was a lot of fun. You go up, it's all day. It's 3.5 hours of driving, and it's all open. You get on track and you're wheel to wheel as soon as you're on track. They do an hour and a half of practice starts. So we did, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 practice starts, which was a lot of fun. And there's instructors out there with you. You're paired up with an instructor. Audra's doing the one this year. I'm going to redo it because for the price and 3.5 hours of open track, you can't beat it. It's the cost of doing an HPD, and I don't have to give point buys. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm doing it again. Plus the practice starts. I mean, you get more practice starts in that school than I really got all season, right? Because how many starts do you do? 3, 2, 2 races. So it was a lot of fun. I'm glad, of course, I passed. And it was a blast. The car, I have issues with the car. It was overheating and my brakes. So the car wasn't 100%. But my first race, so then after that, I got my license or my novice permit, and my first race was at Lime Rock. And that was very scary. I was very nervous. I went up for the day before and went with SCDA and did a HPD, track day with them the day before. And that was an experience. I paid for an instructor that they have a professional who you can pay for him to sit with you. And he came with me. And as we're going on the uphill, he's like, it's really too bad. There's definitely something wrong with your car.
Oh,
He's like, it's way underpowered. I was like, yeah, I know. I thought it was, I said, honestly, I thought it was me. I said, I thought I was like, this is how the car is. I didn't realize it was so it really was underpowered, which is fine. I was slow anyways. And then the race was a blast. Just being around the guys in the SE30 group they're seasoned. They're just happy to be there and everyone's just happy. We all gridded together, or we all parked in the paddock together. We had a cookout, we had lobster, steak, chicken. It was just so much fun. I really, you're just part of a group, and that's what autocross was. It's like your new family. That's how Lemons is. You get there, it's your family. You're home away from home. So that was fun. I was last in every group, but it's okay. I was just my parents were there. Everyone was sitting up on the hill. There were so many spectators there up on the hill. But, my dad said, he goes, nobody knew that you were last, because once everyone goes around, they don't know. Nobody knows that you're last.
No, that's true.
It doesn't matter. It's like, okay.
No,
I know.
as long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I was just nervous because my friends came down. Audra came. Max came, another friend of mine, Chris, showed up. And then I was in the paddock and a girl came over. She must have been like 15, maybe 16. And she goes, "You're a racer?" And she was so happy that I was a girl racer, and sat there and looked at my car and sat in the car. So that kind of just made it worth it. It was just great. She was so she didn't know that I was last, and she didn't know that I don't know what I'm doing. She was just so happy to meet me. And I really enjoyed that.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Sell yourself short a little bit. You looked really good out there. And you didn't look you looked like you knew what you were doing.
You have to at least know a little bit about what you're doing if you're going to get your license. They're not just going to give that to anybody.
You beat millions of people who didn't even get out there, so don't worry about it.
I know.
Right. You beat Bill. Bill wasn't out there.
That's right.
That's absolutely. Well, this year I'll be back.
That's not a problem. Everybody else does. My nickname is going to become a rented mule.
You just need to get in the car.
All right. So can we go back just a little tiny bit and talk about the day that you went to comp school?
Yeah.
What was going on? Did you ever figure out what was going on with your car with the overheating? You said you were overheating and you were having brake issues? What was going on there?
I changed the brake pads, and so the previous season I had chewed through brakes, and what it was is one of my calipers was stuck. So we rebuilt the calipers, or the front calipers. We rebuilt both of them. I got different brake pads, and I was running Hawks, which is what they say to run. I chewed through those because my caliper was stuck. I understand that. But I went to EBC. Is that a name of a company?
Yep,
EBC?
it is. Yep.
Yeah. So I got their pads and I haven't had a problem at all. Actually don't even need to replace them because we don't really use the brakes too much.
Okay.
But once we rebuilt the calipers after that, it's fine. It's been fine. So that was the problem. That was the problem with that. As far as overheating, we ended up pulling the engine twice last season. We pulled it right after Lime Rock, and I sent the head to a gentleman. His name is Nat Erickson. He's a racer with SCCA. Very nice. Erickson Industries is his company, and he had redone a head for the 944 for me. So he checked it, did the valve job, all of that, cleaned it up, decked the head or skimmed it, whatever they say. Brought that back. And then we were having compression issues. My compression, I think it should be like 146 to 152, something like that. I think that's what the book says. And we were at 70. A couple of the cylinders were less than that.
Oops.
So we had a big discrepancy in what it should be and what it was. So we put new rings in, and that's about it as far as the bottom end. We put the head back on and then went, send it. We went to the next race, which was Thompson.
Send it.
So we went to Thompson. I did the practice day, which is the day before. First lap out, car felt like a completely different car. Couple laps later, I'm still chasing my times. It wasn't where it should be. But I did the race anyways. The race was the next day. It's called the Midnight Madness. So it's a night race. You do the day races, and then our last race was at 10:30 at night. It was a very long day. It was exciting to have a night race. My car was just it had no power. They don't have any power anyways, but really no power. And my foot's to the floor and it's barely, wasn't going anywhere. But it was all right. I raced alone. So the guys were really good. Everyone, we gridded, sat together. We were there all day, 8:00, whatever time you get there, until 10:30 was our last race. Racing in the dark is very scary. There's no depth perception. Plus I'm old. So it's even worse. You can't see. And I was driving in the dark, like I was alone. So I'm just driving I was driving thinking, this is just awful. I'm driving in the dark alone. Like I'm not racing. I'm just driving in the dark alone. But luckily 20 minutes isn't that long. So, but it was a lot of fun. I'll do it again this year. There was 6 of us at that race, and it was a lot of fun. And then this last race was at Palmer, and we pulled the engine again. And this time we went and we bought a used block, cleaned it up. The honing on the inside of the cylinders, I guess it has to have a crosshatch pattern on it. And this block had it. My block didn't. So my block, I'm just putting, we put it aside. We'll just deal with that. Maybe have it honed. I'm not sure. But this block we put in, we didn't use the rings. I didn't do the bearings, but we cleaned it all up. We bought it from this guy in Willimantic who has tons of Specky 30 parts, and brought it home, cleaned it totally, and put it in with the head that had been redone. And it felt so much better at Palmer. My times there, I beat my best time there by 5 or 6 seconds consistently. So
that's significant.
I'm still, 4 or 5 seconds down from the slowest of the guys, but that's okay. I was thrilled. So the car felt so much better. And I was happy, we're going to pull the engine again, which I should have done, but I didn't. So we're going to pull it again, and we're going to put the new rings in. And I have the bearings, and, I got a new head gasket and all of that, because we do have a leak. I think I have a head gasket leak. So we'll put that in, clean that up, and then hopefully the engine should be good. when we did the last compression test, we were at 140 all across the board. So it means it's healthy. It's not a fast car, but it's healthy. I think the racers are getting, they're in the 150s probably for compression. But I was happy that we kind of figured it out. The Spec-E 30 it's easy to work on. It's like I'm used to the 944, so it's easier than a 944. Definitely. As far as a race car, I don't know a street car, but so it's easy to work on. I rewire the ABS. I put in 3 new gauges, that was fun for me. I didn't have any.
You're pretty savvy with your gauges and electrical work.
Yeah, I'm getting really, really good at.
You do house calls? Because Vicki could use some love.
I actually.
You and I are going to have to talk.
Yeah. I really, well, I have a red 944 that I redid all the electrical in it. And it's now running and I'm very happy. It sounds great, looks great. I just have to throw insurance on it and then I'll be able to drive it. So that one I rebuilt during COVID. I taught myself how to do it. So I rebuilt the engine and I taught myself slowly. I made tons of mistakes on that car. And I also noticed with the wiring, I made tons of mistakes. So now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I went back and corrected everything. So that's, it was fun. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. But the E30, I just got the diagrams and they're a little bit different, but not too much at all. Pretty much, just different wire colors, but all
right, why don't you make a trip up here to New Hampshire and you can wire in my ABS in my E46 while I'm at work.
Yeah,
because you want it inside the loom. You're not doing it the smart way.
I'm not doing it that way.
I'm just going to FaceTime her and just have her walk me through the whole process as I'm doing it.
It's tons of trial and error. Oh,
yeah.
And catching cars on fire. I caught the 944 turbo on fire because I routed
No, we don't
wires
want that. Don't want that. That's a no.
Willing to bribe with food. We can do that.
Yeah, I know, but I've made all these mistakes on my cars, so I won't make them again.
Yep. Bring your significant other. Let him come. We have a space now.
My problem with wiring is that I'm shade blind. So I'm not colorblind, but I'm shade blind. So a lot of the colors all look the same to me. So it's very difficult for me to figure out what this wire is.
No.
Yeah,
so he's like, green is green, and there's no other shade of green, just green.
There's nothing past the Crayola 8. Yeah. That's okay.
Wait, this wire is supposed to be green, brown, and yellow? Yeah, it's one color. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I replaced all the wires in the 944. I mean, they're 40-year-old wires. So I have a lot of little tags on them all saying this should be the green wire, even though it's a purple wire,
Right.
In case somebody else looks at it. I redid this.
That makes sense. That's good.
I mean, hopefully if somebody looks at it, they'll say they didn't know what they were doing, but I put labels on everything. So hopefully they can figure it out.
If it's labeled and it all works, it's probably correct.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, it all works. My last issue was I had a ground short, and that was really a huge pain to try to troubleshoot. But I did. I found it and corrected it. It took me forever to find it, but when I did, that was great. I had to redo the front lights, and that's where the ground problem was. But I'm glad I had that problem, so now I know what a ground fault is.
It's not the first BMW to have a grounding issue. So
no, it's 944.
Oh, 944. Okay. Well, them too.
Bill, you meant to say European car.
Well,
that's what you meant to say.
But my 944, I just love it. I loved that I redid this car from basically the ground up. Like all the wiring, I know where the problems are. If something wiggles, I'm like, oh shoot, it's that wire that I wasn't sure about. So I can pull the whole dashboard apart in 5 minutes. Like Mark was saying, we've pulled engines in 944s. He could probably pull an engine in 20 minutes. Like so the E30, the second time we pulled it, it was nothing. Because I know where everything goes now. And it's a race car, so there's not much to put back in.
Right. There was never much in that car anyway.
So what do we got to do to get that Mini started? Let's talk Mini.
I found a Mini.
What
was it, Audra? $3,500?
Yeah.
For the Mini?
That looks pretty good.
It does. Yeah, Mini would be a good race car. Both Audra and I have owned
Minis. You can't go to B-Spec yet. Well,
no.
Let's do a season in the Specky 30s, and then
I love Smurf, so I'm not getting rid of him. But we could do both because we don't run with the B-Spec. They're not in our group.
That's true.
Sometimes they are, but
you're there. You might as well do both.
Well, hey, Audra over here is looking a little bit concerned. She wants to make sure she has a friend that can take care of her at the track in that Spec E30.
Like we can't get Audra to get a B-Spec as well as an E30. It's fine. We just it's inch by inch.
We're not there yet, but this year I'll be racing with Audra, and I'm excited. Her and I are doing the school together, and we have a guy who is in B-Spec, JB, and he's going to be our instructor. And I already told him, so he's going to do lead follow with us for the day, and I'm very excited about that.
When is the school?
That's how Elizabeth does things. I already told him he's going to be our instructor, and we're just going to show up, and he'll do it for us.
Yeah, I told Lou, who runs it, I said JB is going to be our instructor. It's the 18th. It's a Friday.
18th of
April.
Oh,
where is it?
I thought it was
at Thompson.
Oh, it is at Thompson.
Yeah. It's great. There's a lot of classroom. Which is fine, but as soon as you come in, you're in that classroom, and it's not like a driver's meeting. It's a class. You're learning.
So which direction do you want to go, Miss Vicki? Do you want to go east to Thompson or west to Mid-Ohio?
I can go to Thompson. Well, Thompson, they're all about the same distance.
Yeah, but you'll have two other girls there with you.
I would. You know what? I would love to hang with the chickies. I really would.
See, there you go. Don't worry, Bill. I got you, buddy.
So NASA New England. So Specky 30 is really big in general with NASA. It's huge. They have they have the championship. There's tons of cars in the class, but the New England region of NASA is really in New Jersey. They do one race at Lime Rock, but most of them are in New Jersey, which is fine. They're lovely tracks, but to get down there in the summer is not fun driving home. It's just really, getting down there is fine because you leave at 4 a.m, but coming home.
Now for us,
it's different.
Oh no, that's like a home track for us. It is brutal to get down there a little bit in the summertime, but it's like a 3-hour drive. It's not terrible. No. Thompson isn't bad either, except for that last trip out. I think we hit rush hour we had rush hour straight across Connecticut. It was awful. We had miles of rush hour.
Yeah, it's just New Jersey, just coming home from New Jersey it's just tough crossing the George Washington Bridge, which is $50 a car.
The George Washington.
Why don't do the George?
There is no George Washington Bridge.
No, don't do the George.
No.
I had to do the George because
that's
comfortable
self-imposed.
Driving that way.
I know. I will set up your
10
GPS.
minutes to go. It takes 10 minutes to go around the GW.
Yeah.
And it's so much better.
So much better.
Although I will say,
confused at the Tappan Zee. There's so many parkways around there that
I got you. Next time we go, you let me program your GPS, and I will
do that.
I will get you home.
Easy.
We'll do Tappan Zee.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's not the Tappan Zee anymore.
The Mario Cuomo
Bridge.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be the Tappan Zee to me.
I always say Tappan Zee as well.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier.
$7.
It's further. You know what? It's a little further, but it's still faster.
Way faster.
And cheaper.
Cheaper.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the George is probably 10 minutes faster, but when it's not faster, it's 4 hours slower.
Although if you are on 95 and you're headed north and you're headed towards the GW, when you turn off to go north up the river to go to the Tappan Zee, if you turn off too late, they bill you for the Tappan Zee, even though you're like 7 miles away from. I mean, for the GW, Georgia, even though you're like 7 miles away from it.
Well, you should get off. You should get off at 287 and go the right way, Jeremy.
I know.
Okay.
287 is not a parkway, right?
No. You can tow on it. No, it's fine.
You can tow on it. Yeah. Well, we used to autocross a lot at Met Stadium. SCCA New Jersey is down there, and also NASA does a autocross down there. So that was a lot of fun.
And lumpy.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good course. It's fun down there, but that's a little closer than the New Jersey tracks.
Yes.
What was it? Sure. Well, I don't know. Audra's another hour from me. What was it? 5 hours when I drove down there? We did 5 hours
down to Jersey.
So.
Yeah,
that's about right. That's about right.
Yeah.
It all depends on the traffic.
Yeah. Because I did do a track day the first time out with my car. Right, Bill? Bill was there.
I was there. Vicki was there. Jen was there.
Lisa, yep.
That's right.
The accelerator cable broke, and I was having brake issues and overheating issues. Oh, my overheating problem. I put a bigger fan in. Put a 16-inch fan, and it seemed to work. Help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was the issue. You weren't moving enough air through the radiator.
Yeah.
Just go faster. So okay, do we have 3 people? Right? So do we have 3 people going to the class?
Are you going to go, Vicki? Or are you getting your NASA license, or you're getting SEC? I mean,
they're both the same.
I guess it doesn't matter.
No. I'm leveling up. That's all I'm doing. Yep. This is my year to level up, and I'm most likely going to be doing it in the new Miata.
Why?
Yeah. You should go with them and get your comp
SCCA
license.
has spec Miata.
I can do it. It's a spec Miata is what I got.
Yeah. Okay. So you could be at all of our races.
And if you want to, I'll have Jennifer bring the B-Spec car, and you guys can have a party.
Yeah.
The first race is Palmer. Then we have New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Then we have Lime Rock. Then we have Thompson. Then we have Palmer again. And then Thompson to end the season.
Okay, so I don't have to ask that question later on now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for answering that question.
I'm sorry. Do you want the dates?
I would do this.
On the top of my head.
I would do this. Absolutely.
And they have practice. They do practice sessions the day before. So the track, you just pay the track. It's in Palmer's great because you can do a morning session or both sessions, morning and afternoon. So I paid for an afternoon session. We got there about noon, got the car on the track, did 3 20-minute sessions and was done. And it was less than, I think it was $190. It was great.
So what I am looking for is actual education. I don't want to walk into a classroom and say, so how did you do? And then have everybody hold their hands up and go, I didn't get a point by.
That's the race school that they're talking about.
This is a race school.
Yeah.
I want real education.
There's no point buys.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean, though?
Yeah. No, you'll be so you'll be paired up with somebody. They're in their car, you're in your cars.
Okay.
And whoever your instructor is. Some were doing like lead follows. My instructor was faster than I was, and we had the other kid had never been on the track before. So, which is, I don't understand, but so he ended up, and he had a faster car. So those two were off on their own. I was kind of on my own. I ended up kind of playing with 2 minis and a guy in a Miata. He was the instructor. So I played with them and it was fun. That's why I talked to JB about it. I want somebody that is really going to instruct me, is really going to do a lead follow with me, and stick with us. And Audra's going to be part of that. So, and he was happy to, because our cars, he's a B spec, so our cars are similar as far as horsepower. So it'll be a lot of fun. The classroom is normal instruction, but it's not asking you how you did. It's telling you that this is how you should do it. It was more really real instruction. It's not like a HPD day. I think you'll enjoy it.
I like the idea very much so.
And it's
Yeah,
it is 3.5 hours. You're on the track for 3.5 hours.
Well, there's also if I go one direction, it's potential what 10-hour, 8-hour, 9-hour
It's
drive.
way closer to Mid-Ohio.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, but those are going to be my tracks, would be like Mid-Ohio and
But once you pass one, you get the other one.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, for your first season, you'll be racing
I
a
think
novice.
Bill's actually busy looking it all up.
Oh, no, I've already
Vicky,
added it to your
it's a real
list.
race school, Vicky. It's not
Yeah.
an
Yeah, it's a real
HPD.
race
It's
school.
not.
Yeah,
It's a
well, that's
real
what I
race school.
want.
So you're going to go into the classroom and they're going to explain all kinds of stuff to you and teach you about theories and all this other stuff, racecraft. You know, they're going to go over all kinds of stuff with you, and then they're going to teach you on track, and then, you know, talk to you about it. Hey, you did this wrong. You need to do this way. Like
Right.
it's, you know, so that's what it's going to be, full instruction. It's not going to be an HPD.
Okay,
No,
good.
not at all.
Good.
Not, you know,
That's what I want.
Here's your
Comps
apex and
school.
this. Yeah. Well, you have to, I'll talk to you after this, but you fill out your information and send in the money, whatever, to get your novice permit. And then you'll be ready to go to the school. And that's pretty quick. You just call them. I'll just give you the link and you can do that.
Okay, that sounds great.
And they'll
Does she
send
need
you
the medical form?
Yes.
Yeah, she needs that for NASA anyways, but yeah, the medical form. Now, your first season, you'll be a novice. And then once you get your competition license, you can do NASA, right? I don't think you can do NASA.
They're reciprocal. Yeah.
Not with your novice permit though.
Correct.
Yeah. But once you get your comp, like if I wanted to do one NASA, just an event, because I was thinking about, is it Hyper something? It's down in at VIR, Hyperfest.
Hyperfest, yeah.
Yeah, VIR. I looked at that. I could petition just for one event without having to go through all of everything that they have to do.
Yeah, that's 5/17 through 19.
Yeah, that looks like so much fun.
I'm gonna have to look. Do you know if they have any other comp schools at Thompson throughout the year? Or is that
no,
this is
the only one. They do it every April.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it again. It was fun, and it's $395. I mean, you can't beat 3.5 hours of open track, and I didn't have to give 1 point by. It's so exciting.
You're already a member.
Say though, what was the biggest thing you took from it the last time you did it?
The practice starts, just learning the practice starts, and just the whole thing, being out there wheel to wheel. There's 30 people on the track, probably more with the instructors. Really, the practice starts were just so great. Just you knew right away who to stay away from. I know I'll be more aggressive this year than I was because I really want to get out in front. A lot of Miatas, a lot of Minis, 1 or 2 BMWs, more of like an E46 type BMWs. I was the only E30. Hopefully we'll have a few more E30s this year in the comp school. But it was really fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I just couldn't get over having 3.5. I was exhausted by the end of the day, but 3.5 hours of open track. It was just thrilling.
Well, as the agent representative for my dear friend Audra, we need to make sure that you're not so exhausted that the post-race festivities are not taken care of, because she's not going to show up unless there's post-race festivities.
Well, 5:30 comes and I was exhausted. I couldn't wait to get home. Oh, you have to go up the Thursday night before, because Thursday night is a driver's meeting at 7:00, 7 to 8.
Nice.
So,
not a problem.
And you'll get your annual tech done, so you won't have to worry about that. They do the annual tech for your equipment and your car, and so you never have to tech, which is so nice. You don't have to worry about that. So you'll get all that done. You'll get your logbook for your car. It's very exciting. I loved my logbook. I have nice pictures in it. Yeah. I got it wet though. So
it's okay. Shows you were there.
It got soaking wet in my car.
Was that from
That's not
Palmer?
fun.
Yeah.
So
From the
let me think.
hurricane came at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Let me think.
But
After this event, Vicki will have her comp license.
hmm
I have mine. Elizabeth already
Hey,
has
Bill,
hers.
I know where you're going with this,
And
Bill.
Audra will have hers. Something's missing though. What's missing? What's missing?
Are you
Jennifer?
gonna make me do it, Bill?
I'm just saying, it's one day in the life.
I need to. I really do. I mean,
You
I do
do.
so much stuff that I need to. It's just
Listen,
You
listen.
gotta stop driving those
He's got no.
Lamborghinis,
He's got little ones too that he's getting paid for that at least.
Yeah, he's
well,
got
I mean,
kids
here's the
too.
thing, right? Do I go to race school or do I go drive Ferraris and Lambos on the track?
Why does it have to be
Race school.
or? Why does it have to be
Race
or?
school. You can circumvent taking the race school. You could do a CRE, which is what our friend Max did. The CRE is the club racing experience. Not every race has the CRE. So with SCCA, Palmer does. So you could do the Palmer race, the CRE there. And if they deem you fit to race, they'll sign you off and you send in and you get your novice permit.
Oh, there we go. That's what I got to do. There we go.
That's what you can do.
I'm
New
done.
New Hampshire has CRE. So
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, look on the, I'll send that. Go to ner.org. That's the SCCA New England Region's website, and just look at their schedule. And if it says CRE, that's what it is, Club Racing Experience. Because you've been doing so much, like you have so much experience. I mean, Max is just good, and he got his license. So I didn't. I wasn't good. I'm not that fast. So it's
Yeah,
hard
but you'll
for
get
that.
there. You just have to keep at it.
Yeah.
But again, the question is, are you having fun?
I wasn't at the night race because I was all alone. I was like driving in the dark all alone. I know, it was really sad.
See, you just you need other girlies.
Yes.
You need girlies. I'll bring the trailer.
The only thing is the Miatas don't race in our group because they're so big. They have their own group. But that's okay. Then we can watch you.
Own group meaning session or own group meaning
session.
day?
Yeah, the race group. Yeah. Yeah.
They race in a different group.
Yeah, in their own group.
Do they race with the Specky 46s as well?
No.
No.
It says E30s only.
So
no, the Miatas only.
No. I'm just saying because we had an E46 too.
The E46 with SCCA, they don't have an E46 group.
Oh, right.
So
you're just going to have to watch then.
Yeah, but you can get your comp license with any race car, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you could bring the BMW or the Miata, but I would suggest bring the Miata.
Yeah.
Because you need to get used to that car. You need seat time in that car.
It's a cute car. It has yet to be driven. Not really. I'm so excited.
How has it got yet to be driven? You drove it the whole weekend.
No, I did not. No, I only drove it partially on Sunday and I barely fit into it with the seat.
And she has to get pass-bys. This is different. This is really driving it.
Yeah. This is it.
This is like being at Lemons without being hit.
Yeah, right.
Being at Lemons with hardly any cars on track.
Right. Yeah, Bill, we have a B-spec Honda Fit, and Bill keeps trying to throw into Lemons, and I keep telling him to put the brakes on because the car's too nice.
Oh.
You don't want to go in there and trash that.
No,
it's not going to get ruined, Vicki. Just
in Lemons.
No, it'll be fine.
We don't get hit.
You stop.
Just don't let Alan drive.
It's not Alan.
Because he hits everything. It'll be fine. The car will be fine. Leave the car will be fine.
Your drivers, it's the other people.
It's the other people. That's what I'm saying. Bill tried to avoid it and like crunch the hood. He tried to avoid another driver. Driver came back on track and smashed him.
That was bad weather, though. That wasn't the other driver's fault. That was.
It was not bad weather.
It was what? It was snowing, sleeting, and raining
at Pitt.
Oh yeah,
just like you were only in the car one 40 time.
Cars went off.
Yeah.
When is Pitt? The second weekend of April? Audra, is that the
second weekend?
April 14th.
Yep.
Yeah. The weekend before the race school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Audra's
So
going to be worn out by the time she gets there. So will Vicki.
I know.
Yeah.
You may as well just go straight from pit right to Thompson.
Yeah.
Right.
Just change cars. Just go by the
Sign
hangar.
me up.
Change the car.
Sign me up.
Bill, did you hear that? Sign her
You-
up right now.
You do realize what you just told me to do.
I know.
I can have you signed up before this podcast is over.
I know.
But
and
she's
you
going to
probably
have
would.
so much fun, though. The girls are going
I'll
to have
be with the
blast.
girlies.
Yes. It'll be fun.
So it's at Thompson, and what weekend is it? The weekend of the
Weekend
19th?
It's a Friday.
weekend
It's just
after.
a one day. It's Friday.
Well, there's the class on Thursday night, and then
Yeah.
it's all day Friday.
All day
So
Friday.
Okay,
we're
so
gonna
we'll just get a
drop our
hotel.
trailers. Well, we're gonna drop our trailers Thursday night, and then yeah,
Yeah.
just that one.
Okay.
Camp there or whatever.
Yeah, you have two friends within half an hour, depending on which way you want to go. So you can crash at one of their houses.
Yeah, that's right. Audra's right there.
It sounds like Audra's a better play because Elizabeth's going to be sleeping. I don't know. Just saying.
I get
How
tired.
fun.
I'm old. I'm older than Audra.
That's right.
I think I have
You
you all
are.
beat.
I am older.
Yeah, I'll go do that. I'll go do that one.
You will? Good.
Yeah.
It'll
Sign
be
me up for
fun.
that.
I'll get you a good instructor. Let me think. Maybe he can instruct all three of us. No, that's too many. They like two to an instructor. Oh, I'll get
Vicky's
you a good
too
one.
unto herself.
No, you know what? I'll talk to his name's Jim. He has a Spec Miata. He's very good. He's head of the CRE. So
Okay.
I'll have him instruct you. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be a lot of fun. So other than that, getting that ready, that's all I've been doing. I bought an X5M this summer, and I owned an X5, and it was dying a very slow death, and it was overheating constantly. So I found this X5 online. It's used, 90,000 miles on it. Beautiful, black, just gorgeous, down in New Jersey. Bought it, gave him a deposit, drove down. He said he'd give me, my X5 almost had 200,000 miles on it. So he gave me a couple $1,000s towards it. So we towed it down there because I knew I couldn't drive down there. It's beyond where the racetracks are. So it took us like 5 hours, 6 hours to get down there. Drove it down, parked in Walmart parking lot, unloaded the X5, drove it up to the shop. Here's the keys. Thank you very much. He gave me the keys to the X5 and I left. And it was, I never saw the car before that day. I mean, I saw it online. It was just lucky it was really luck. We drove down, bought a car, and I drove it home, and it's been great. One issue I'm having, of course, there's issues. It's a 2010, has 90,000 miles on it. So my issues now are on top of it has twin turbos, 600 horsepower, 550 horsepower. It's just a beast. I love my car, but it's leaking coolant. So the two turbo lines on the top of the engine is where it's leaking. One's in, one's out. So I thought I could patch it, right, with a little piece of hose. You can't do that. I did it, and it was still leaking coolant. So I was telling Audra, I was at Stop and Shop, and I wanted to try to see where the coolant was, because it's steaming. It looks like it's smoking, but it's just the steam, because the coolant's dripping onto the engine and burning up. So I had it out. I'm like in this truck, in the engine. Of course, somebody comes over. There's always some man that's going to come over and help you. And he's like, "Oh, what's going on here? Can I help you?" And as soon as I said, "Well, yeah, I have a coolant leak, and it's he's like, "Well, what about?" I'm like, "It's not the vacuum lines. I already checked all of those." I said, "It's these lines here," and I repatched it, and I got the right size hose, but I don't think it's. So I'm talking on and on about how I'm fixing this, and he's like, "Okay, you got it under control," and he walked away. It was like the funniest thing. because I just went into the whole spiel. Well, it's this part, and it's not the vacuum lines. I already checked all of those, and because he pointed to a hose and it was a vacuum line, I'm like, no, that's a vacuum line. It's not leaking there. It's leaking here. And anyways, I fixed it at work, so it's not a big deal. But you can smell the coolant in the car, and it burns your eyes.
Oh no,
that is not good.
When the coolant hits the exhaust, that smell, it's awful. So patching it didn't work. And actually reading online, everyone's saying patching it doesn't work. So you have to buy the hoses, the inlet and the outlet, and about the hoses. One's $70 and the other was $90. So I had to just do it. The hoses came yesterday, so I'll put them in this weekend. Hopefully that's it for the coolant leak. Other than that, the car hasn't needed anything. I did all the brakes. I rebuilt the calipers and did all of those. I'm pretty good at that. I taught myself that with the 944. So once you do one caliper, you now know all the others. So it's the 944 took me a long time. I'm getting much better. Doing the brakes on the X5 took me, doing pads for the front took me 1 hour on one side and 15 minutes for the other side. So it just takes me a long time because I had the wrong size tools. I got to walk into the other garage and find the right tool. So once I had all of that, 15 minutes on the other side to change the pads. It's the easiest car to work on, even though it's an X5, it's big. But the first side always takes me like triple anybody else's normal time because it just takes me forever. And also I'll walk back into the garage and I'll start doing something else. And I forget what I went in there for. But it's pretty easy to work on, Tires are big. That's all.
So when can Vicki call you for electrical assistance? She
anytime.
She baffles herself because she doesn't believe she knows what she's doing.
It's all just new. That's all.
Yeah,
it is just it's all about the diagram. It's all about the electrical diagram. And my 40-year-old car, the diagrams were not correct on the 83 944. So I had to kind of learn that and learn the nuances of the old wiring diagrams. Even, your car's newer, so you'll have better diagrams.
Our car's also been butchered by many, many people, so diagrams may not have anything to do with what's really there. So
yeah, right. That's true. I blew mine up. I'm sure you'll be able to do that.
We can blow things up. We know how to blow things up. I mean, that's a core competency of this team.
Yeah, just blow up the diagrams, and mine are, I won't part with them even though they have holes in it and I've taped them up a million times, but I know where everything is on those specific diagrams, the ones with the tape everywhere. So, those are my babies because I've highlighted and crossed out and put purple is now, the green wire is now purple, so that I know when I go back in.
You know what everything is.
Yeah, I know where everything is. Yeah.
So to keep on to the wiring thing, earlier you talked about wiring ABS in your spec E30. Now, did you have to wire in ABS, or did the car have ABS and you just had to rewire the entire ABS system to get it to work?
The car had ABS and I checked all the wires. A couple of the wires, I didn't like the condition they were in. When you cut a wire, if it's not shiny and it's like a little bit, not copper, but
corroded a little bit.
Yeah, corroded. I don't like that. I like clean wires. So I'll replace that wire if it's not too difficult, or I'll splice in a cleaner. I'll cut back until it's clean. And that's what I did. I ended up cutting back quite a bit until it was clean, spliced in a new wire and rerouted that. And the light goes on now. So I'm hoping that that's the issue. Because I did all the tests. I replaced all the sensors in the four wheel wells. So all of that should be good. All the components work. And now the light comes on. So that's a good thing. And it goes off like it should. Comes on when you turn the car on and it shuts off.
So that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. It didn't do that before. well, there was no light wired up, number one. So, and that's part of the system is that wire, that light wire.
Right.
I don't know why, but if you read all the BMW blogs, if you don't have that light, it won't work. So,
yep. That's
so
typical German engineering where
yeah.
if you want your right headlight bulb to work, the wire running to the left plate light has to be installed with a circle circuit all the way back up to the steering wheel in order for that light to work.
Yes. I don't question. I just read the diagrams. Yeah.
You act like that's not normal.
There was no light for it. It was completely gone, that whole part of it. So I rewired it. It was nice. I'm glad, maybe it's working, maybe it's not. I mean, for the Thompson race, I didn't have a speedometer and I didn't have RPM dial. So, I was on that race. I just listened by ear, which kind of taught me a lot about the car, not relying on the gauges. I did put in RPM because I had an aim system and something happened to it. I don't really know what, but it's not working anymore. So I pulled it out. Just try to send it to AIM. Maybe they can fix it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't need it right now. It's just I have an RPM. That's all I needed it for. It wasn't hooked up to anything else. It was just being used as a lap timer. But now I have the Garmin, which Catalyst, which can be my lap timer. And I'm also going to put the Apex in. I'm going to try all this stuff that it doesn't help me go faster. That's
yes,
all.
It does. We need to talk about this. We need to have you back on for that. It does.
I know.
It should.
I don't know. I'll put the Apex back in. So
okay. Jeremy's going to be using the Apex this year. He doesn't even know why, but he's going to because I have a plan for him.
Okay. We're going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
I'm not good with all those squiggly lines. I like the Catalyst.
If my butt tells me I can go faster and I still have traction, then I'm good.
I'll go faster.
Your butt's not educated enough.
I know I can go faster, so I'm happy about that.
It's just like when you drive up to a railroad track. If the car in front of you could go in front of the train, you can too. It's fine.
Yeah, just go.
Just go. The car in
That's
front
right.
of you did it. If the car in front of you did it, you're good to go. Just
send it.
That's right.
Send it.
When in doubt, throttle out.
The opinions expressed by certain hosts on this podcast cannot be held legally against us.
Captain's log supplemental.
Hey, Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I got one that I'm looking at every day.
You know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble-free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
Well, it was nice being on. Thank you for having
we're
me
not
again.
done. We actually have questions for you.
Oh, you
yeah,
do?
we have some more questions. Audra, Audra's just over there being quiet and not asking her questions. She's hoping that somebody else is going to ask them.
I know. Audra's got the next one.
You wait long enough, other people just take care of things. You know
that.
She's out Canadianing us again.
She is. Come on, Audra, go for it. Say it.
Oh, okay. So, I guess, well, we have a couple here we can choose from, right? I want to talk about longer term goals and your bucket list items.
Oh, come on.
Come on. You tell me these things all the time.
I know I do when we talk. That's different.
But nobody's listening. Nobody's recording it for posterity.
It doesn't have to be your personal life stuff. I mean, we're not looking at that. We're talking about your racing.
I want to go faster. I want to be in the mix. That's where I want to be. I want to be in the mix. Okay. And that's my goal, is to just be in the mix and just be some kind of threat. That's what I want. Okay. I don't want to be discarded. Just, oh, Elizabeth's in the race. Oh, that's okay. I want to be a threat.
There we go.
And that's my goal.
And that's a really good goal to have.
It is. My goal for GLTC is to eventually become middle. I'm serious.
Bill's going to be a threat.
No, not in that field.
In B-Spec, Bill's going to be a threat.
B-Spec, maybe. I got a chance. I could have a chance.
Well, the thing about Audra and I talking about B-Spec is because B-Spec, there's regionals, and then you can do the national runoffs. That's the one thing the Spec E30 doesn't. The New England region has allowed us to race, and actually the New York region will allow us. There's one race at Watkins Glen. They'll allow us to field a Spec E30 group, which is lovely. That would be a lot of fun. So we're trying to, we may all do a Watkins Glen race, which would be great. But there's
those are your reasons for doing B-Spec. Mine where I just want to get another mini.
I know a guy. Just saying.
I know a guy that's got, I don't know, probably 3 or 4.
Really?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just kidding.
Can't have it till after one lap.
Bill enjoys buying cars for Vicki to build.
Yeah.
He is not wrong.
You had to add that last part,
Vicki.
Well,
but over the time, over time, Vicki and I have stopped him from doing that. So he's gotten a lot better.
He has gotten
Bill went to therapy and he's gotten much better.
I have one more car I need to buy, and then I'm done.
No, you don't.
I do.
But at this point, we have a 944 turbo, 3 83 944s, an 84 944 race car, an 99 911 convertible, an 2000 Boxster S, and my E30. And I think that's it. Oh, and a 95 Jeep Wrangler, which I love. And
you had me until
you don't like the Jeep? That's Mark's. But I love it. It has big beefy tires and no doors,
Breaks everything. All right. Guess what?
Drive it last year. What? We're done?
No, God, no, you don't get done.
Oh my gosh.
No. Okay, so last time you were on,
yes,
we did some Fast and Furious storytime questions. But since
I wasn't very good at those.
But since you were on, we've come up with a whole bunch more.
All right. I'm going to have to think about these.
We're going to subject you to it. Who wants to go first, ladies?
I'm not good off the cuff.
Ladies. What is your race number and why? And do your cars have names?
My race number is 122. Okay. 22, I was born on the 22nd of the month. I like the way it looks. I like the way 22 looks. And somebody else had 22, so I did 122.
Jeremy
and yes, they all have names. Smurf is my BMW because he's blue. Smurf.
It is.
Might need a better name. My 944 race car is Tiny Dancer. And my red car is Red.
That was creative.
That's original.
That was right.
The turbo's Rosie, but that's my dog's name, so we might have to change it. Truck and BMW don't have names. They're just daily drivers. And
they're nobodies.
Yeah, they're nobodies.
Yeah. Daily drivers don't get names.
Oh.
No, and the other two 944s don't have names because they're not running yet. So they don't have personalities yet.
So, what is the one thing that no one knows about you that would surprise them? Or how about the majority of people?
I rode horses all my life. I grew up on a farm.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I rode horses since I was little.
She goes from horses to cars.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's cheaper.
No, that's the whole thing. It was back in 2016 and I was really working hard and somebody asked me, "Hey, what do you do? Do you have any hobbies?" And at the time my hobbies were taking people out for happy hour. And I was like, "No, I don't have any hobbies." And I always rode horses and I always loved cars. So it was between horses and cars cars are least expensive. To have a horse is more expensive. You can leave on the weekends and leave your car at home. You can't really leave the horse. So I didn't think I could manage a live animal.
Speaking of live animals, Jeremy.
Yeah. So I did cars instead. Oh, I used to show chickens with my grandfather at 4-H.
There you go. That's a good one.
There we go.
What did you show?
Bantam
Than horses.
Bantams, and Henry and Henrietta were the pair, black bantam chickens. We'd have to wash them in the sink, blow dry them.
That's awesome.
I have good pictures of Henry. And on the porch, he would sit in the sun and let you blow dry him. My brother showed rabbits and I showed chickens and horses.
All right.
That's awesome.
So I hear that you have a lot of experience in every car that you're talking about is rear-wheel drive car on track. Have you driven a front-wheel drive on track? And if so, well, I mean, I'm going to assume that you prefer rear-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. What of the three do you prefer? Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive?
Front-wheel drive. In high school, I drove my mom's Escort. And I remember, and I loved it because where the emergency brake was really easy to pull in the parking lot. And I do remember that. And my friends from high school will remind me of that, doing donuts in my mom's Escort and chirping the gears. I don't even know I don't even know if I could do it now, but I used to do it a lot in that little Escort. Front wheel. So I haven't been on track in a front wheel drive or even autocrossed in front wheel drive. I'm sure there's a difference, right? I don't really know. It's only been rear wheel.
We can fix that.
What are the differences I would expect to feel?
Depends who you talk to. If you talk to Vicki and Jen, it's huge. If you talk to Jeremy and me, it's not that big a deal.
Are they more pushy or loose?
They tend to be pushy.
They're a little pushy. The back is a little loose, but the thing with a front wheel drive car set up correctly is you can be fast around a corner in any spot of the track.
Oh, really?
Whereas rear wheel drive, you have to be on, I'm not going to say the racing line, but you have to have a line that works for a corner. Whereas in a front wheel drive car set up correctly, you can be fast in any part of the corner.
Oh, really?
After a while.
After a while. It takes a lot to get used to, but yes.
So they're just not as loose on the back end. They're just a little more pushy, right?
Well,
that's what.
So front wheel drive pulls you around the corner, so it doesn't matter how loose the rear end is.
Oh, okay.
Whereas rear wheel drive, pushes you through the corner.
Pushes you.
So they're very, very different, to get used to, but they're both equally as fun.
What's the Mini? The Mini's rear wheel, right?
Front wheel.
Oh, then I did drive front wheel drive when I owned a Mini, but that was in 2009.
So apparently it's not that different to you.
Right.
Well, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I didn't know. I loved my Mini. It was like a little go-kart.
It is. What are you thinking, Miss Audra?
I'm thinking she should tell us about her pre-race rituals.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Previous what?
Pre-race
rituals. Say that 5
Rituals?
times fast.
Do you have any?
Well, I want to do this year, which we're going to do. We're going to do the Superman pose.
Nice.
You just
All right.
stand,
I like it.
You stand for a minute and chest out, shoulders back, shut your eyes, and just do Superman. What happened? Oh my God.
Just get into your happy place and your place to be ready.
Yeah, your happy place for a minute and just visualize where you want to be on track. Ross Bentley talks a lot about that, just visualization and trying to get yourself in the zone and just visualize where you want to be on track, where you want your car to be, and kind of think about it. I try to do that. If I say every night, people, probably not every night, but pretty much every night I think about driving on track. Nice. And I try to think about my race lines on the various tracks.
All right. I like it.
Sounds silly.
So Vicki and Audra, we have a job for you at the event at Thompson. We need pictures of the Superman pose.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Vicki? So just doing Superman, I think will be fun. I mean, it's actually, if you look up doing the Superman pose, it does have some validity that it does give you more confidence.
Yeah, the only weakness is if kryptonite's nearby, but
yeah, that's all right.
That's okay. Miss Vicki, you got yours?
Yeah. What is your, and this is just, I don't even know if this is even on the list, but what is your favorite track that you like to drive of all the tracks?
I haven't been to many, but Palmer, I love. Watkins Glen, if I was a better driver, I think Watkins Glen will be my favorite. Palmer's right now is my favorite. Only because I'm in slower cars but handle well in the corners, and there's just a lot of corners, and it's a lot of uphill, and it would be much more fun in a faster car, but I love it. It's a blast. It feels like you're on a roller coaster. If you hit the corners correctly, it's like there's such a flow to that track. Have you driven it, Palmer?
No, not yet.
Oh, you have to. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
what is your favorite?
Either.
Do you have a favorite turn on a track? Like for me, Thompson at 4 is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna at Thompson. I don't know the number of it's coming off of the oval onto the S's where you're heading towards the porta potties.
Yeah. What did we call that for the longest time, guys? It was like the ass turn or something like that, because there was a van. No, there was a trailer that was there that had something written on the side, but it was blocked. So the only thing that was left you could see was like ass or something like that. So it became like the ass turn.
I think that was 1 year, one time.
That's my favorite turn there, only because it's an important turn, but I'm learning to go faster into it, and it makes me hold my breath, which is probably not the best thing for me to say, but I'm going faster and faster into that turn, and I like the feeling it gives me. It's like an exhilaration because it's dangerous. And there's that bump in the center if you hit it wrong. Like if you really mess up if you mess up your turn, you can hit that bump and it just ruins everything. So that's my favorite.
Well, I just asked the question.
You did? Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
That was my question.
All right, sorry. I'm hosting and editing. And
have you guys driven at Watkins Glen?
Yeah.
Yes. We went. I went twice, I think.
So I don't see this on our amazing list here, but I have a question. What if you could pick any track in the world? What would your dream track be to race on or drive?
I would say Spa. Okay. And I've driven it on iRacing. I just love the flow, and I think it's beautiful. It's just beautiful out there. Probably not a good answer. Like, it's supposed to be like the track is, I don't know.
No, that's great.
All of
that's
the
fantastic.
foreign tracks, but Spa is just beautiful. And iRacing, I just love Spa. I'm sure there's better ones.
Mm-hmm.
Laguna Seca would be fun, but not a worldwide track.
Miss Audra, you got one?
Yeah. So you've told me a lot of stories over the years, but your most memorable car breakdown, on road or on track?
I think my most memorable will be when I did a CRE in the 944. So originally I bought a spec 944, and joined the group on Facebook, and they were really, really nice guys. Unfortunately, in the Northeast, nobody's driving 944s. I can surmise that in the Northeast, a 40-year-old car doesn't last that long. Maybe that's why there's not as many 944s. Out west, they're huge. Mid-Ohio has a great group of guys out there. So there's really no place for me to race a spec 944. But anyways, I was trying to get my license. I did a CRE. So I was so excited in my 944. I had it shipped from California, my first race car. And we do the CRE, not a practice. This was like the full-on race. We did the start. I got ahead, which I was excited about, all the way around to the final corner coming down the straight, and my engine blew. And so I quickly got offline, oil behind me, got offline, the car enveloped in smoke. I didn't know what to do, but I got out of the car, which was a good thing, right? Because it was smoking, and I was having issues with some of the gas hoses. So occasionally I had some gas smell in the car and the smoke. So I got out with my trusty little extinguisher, and that was it for the car. But I ended up meeting Thumper, who is with SCCA. He's in charge of fire and rescue. And he's just so wonderful. What a great guy. You guys know Thumper. He's been at his name's Peter. He does all the fire and rescue. He's been at all the Lemons races. Just a really great guy. And his wife, Blossom, she is head of grid for SCCA. So I met like two incredible people that I would not have met if I hadn't blown up my car. So that's my best story. And I got off track really fast, and all the people said, you did a really good job getting off track. So, because I guess people don't do that. And I didn't hold up the race that long. So that was good.
That's
so I was good. A good girl.
Yep.
So, what do you feel you are best at doing on track, and what do you feel still needs work?
And you can't answer with, I just need to go faster.
Yeah.
She can, but we're not going to let her.
What do I really need to work on? Quite a few things, but my exit speed, I need to work on. Definitely getting back on throttle and staying on throttle. I tend to hesitate a lot instead of, you're supposed to be brake or throttle. I have a lot of in between coasting, and I have to really focus on not coasting, throttle, or brake. And I think I know I need to work on that. And that's a lot of my issues, is getting out of the corner faster and not coasting. I think I don't know what I'm good at, but I think I'm well aware of what's going on around me. I have a lot of mirrors. I have a backup camera. Like I think I'm very good at that.
So your situational awareness on track.
Yeah, I think it's been drilled in my head so much that I'm very aware of what's going on. I do a lot of peripheral, like there's games you can do and things you can do to make that better. I mean, I am old, so I have to be careful, but I am really am aware of what's going on around me. And I try to like just focus, do a lot of drills to help me be aware of that. So I think that's an issue if you don't know what's going on around you. And you know when you're coming up on somebody that they don't know you're there.
For sure.
And track days, I don't like anymore because I'm in slow cars and I do not like giving pass bys. It's just, it messes your lineup, it messes their lineup. It's just not fun.
Okay.
It used to be when I drove a faster car because you're beating everyone. I mean, I know you're not racing, but you're still beating everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm not. So it's frustrating.
So what car would you want to switch in that you've raced against in the past, and at what track?
That I wanted. What car do I want?
You want to take the driver by the head, pull them out of their car, plop yourself right in there, and take over. It's your car now.
What car? I don't know. I don't really know. There's a guy in EP at Lime Rock who is in E production, and he's in a 944 turbo, and I would love to drive that car.
Okay.
Because I think it's set up well. The car is fast, and it looks like a lot of fun. So it's everything I love about these cars, plus it has speed. So, I love the slower cars that handle well, but it has speed. Like that's the ultimate, to have like a 944 set up for speed.
Okie dokie. Who's next, Audra or Jeremy? I forget.
Audra.
What's the coolest car ever?
Oh,
man.
What do you mean, what's the coolest car ever?
From the rest of the podcast, I'm thinking 944 is coming out of your mouth, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I think, is it the Koenigsegg that has matching luggage?
Okay.
There's a lot of them that do. So Koenigsegg does. Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Wasn't there the one with the
Koenigsegg.
Honda that had the little scooter that was packed in there in the trunk area too?
Yep. You know
That was
somebody who
adorable.
has one.
I'll take you out in a
I
minute.
know.
I think the Koenigsegg. I don't know. I think that's the one that I saw like a video for, and it had matching luggage. I was like, that is the coolest car I've ever seen.
All right.
Yeah,
Very
matching
well.
luggage for a Mini. Just saying.
I got one more.
Jeremy's got one more. He's going for overtime.
I do. I'm going for overtime. All right. So, first thing that comes to mind. Okay.
Oh, no.
Your favorite thing to order at or near a racetrack that you've been to?
Favorite thing to order?
Food.
Yeah, food wise.
Or drink.
Or drink. Seems how that was your profession a while ago.
Yeah.
Or hobby, shall we say.
Semi-pro.
I don't know. I don't really have an answer. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll find that she always has a tub of green grapes with her, though. Always.
Green grapes. Okay.
Green grapes.
Seedless or not seedless?
Of course, seedless.
All right. I'm just making sure.
And oranges. I'm always grabbing oranges.
Okay.
But no, I mean, every track I've been to, I think we ate at the track. I know it's gross.
Well,
and I don't really drink. Even when I drank, I didn't drink on race weekends.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
good plan.
So sorry.
All right. Well,
overtime was not fun.
As a current racing license holder with 3 other future racing driver holders, and Jeremy, good luck at the next event, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the school. We'll have to come back and tell you about. Oh, we can do another podcast about the school.
We can.
Look, there's the recovering podcaster right there.
That's right.
She's already booking again.
That's right. We do have that as a note in our doc. It's as a recovering podcaster. So.
Sorry, my dog's barking at me.
That's okay.
Our
dog barks too. So,
all right.
Miss Elizabeth, is there a place you post all your fun-filled frolic in case people want to follow?
I do a little bit on Facebook. I just show my dog and my car, my racing car. So you can see me there on, I think it's Autocross Elizabeth, AUTOX Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Indeed.
So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, we will definitely be talking to you. Vicki will be plundering your brain for anything electrical because she has a roadblock on that. And apparently it's a threesome going to the CCA Comp School. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yay!
I can't wait for the recap.
I know.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I was
going to
see if Jennifer can go, but I think it's too close to Pitt for her to get off again.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
She has an important job.
She does.
Very
She
important.
does.
Indeed. Well,
All right. Well, thank you guys.
no problem. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth.
Thank you for
All
coming.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
I need that. I need a cheerleader.
Yep.
And then I was great the rest of the day. I was like,
I'm good at
this is
cheerleading. I do
awesome.
that a lot.
He
Yeah.
even has to skirt.
I do. I do.
Does.
Well,
It's
Audra can
weird.
teach you how to put your foot to the floor.
That's for sure.
She's not shy of that.
No, that's the heavy foot there. It's called she's got a left foot and a thud. Bloop. Okay. All right. So let's see where this podcast takes us. All right.
Well, so far it started like E1R.
Pretty much, yeah. But
Chatted for 45 minutes and then start it.
We edit. They don't. Anyway, they're good though.
Yeah, but I love that part of it.
I know. Well, that's okay. We can add this to the end if you like, except for the beginning conversation, which we're not going to put on. All right. Very well. Let's see. Reverse would be Audra, Jeremy, Vicki. Okay. Or Vicki.
Okay.
Sorry, Vicki, Jeremy, Audra. My bad. Reverse.
Yes.
I mean,
sorry. Reverse of reverse is the same as the verse, right?
Okay, so Vicky's going first.
Yes.
Then
you're
me,
in the middle.
And then Audra.
And then Audra. And then we'll bring Elizabeth in with something, my usual wing and intro. We'll do it. If I don't like this one, I'll just use the one from the last podcast we did.
Yeah, that was